Some stories just make me wonder, is this the world's worst criminal? On October 24th, 2014, a Sacramento County Sheriff's deputy responded to what should have been a routine disturbance call. The report was simple. Someone was loitering outside a Motel 6. But what happened next would unleash a horrifying chain of violence and reveal a man whose complete lack of remorse was as chilling as the crimes he committed. The man who was thought to be loitering was Luis Bracamontes. He was a Mexican national who had illegally crossed into the United States multiple times, despite prior arrests and 2 deportations. He had a long history of criminal behavior, including drug offenses and aggravated assault. In 2014, Bracamontes was living in Utah with his wife, Janelle Monroy, and the couple decided to take a trip to California. For some reason, they didn't only pack their bags, he also brought an AR-15 style rifle and multiple handguns. That morning, Deputy Danny Oliver, a 47-year-old veteran of the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department, was dispatched to the Motel 6 to investigate the loitering complaint. Deputy Oliver had served in law enforcement for over 15 years. He was a father of 2 and a husband to his high school sweetheart, Susan. Friends described him as a quiet giant, someone who believed in talking to people, even those on society's margins. He often worked with the homeless and troubled youth, trying to de-escalate conflict and keep people out of jail wherever he could. But when he approached a suspicious vehicle in the motel parking lot, he didn't have a chance to talk. Bracamontes pulled out a gun and shot Deputy Oliver at close range, killing him instantly. He then turned the gun on Oliver's partner, Deputy Scott Brown, and fired. Brown was struck in the chest but survived thanks to his body armor. Bracamontes and Monroy fled in a white Ford pickup. As police began a high-speed pursuit, the couple carjacked another vehicle, shooting its owner, a man named Anthony Holmes, and leaving a trail of chaos and fear as a frantic multi-county manhunt across Northern California began. Holmes was left seriously wounded, but despite his injuries would survive. About 40 miles away in Auburn, law enforcement set up roadblocks and began scouring neighborhoods where Bracamontes was believed to be hiding. That's when Detective Michael Davis Jr., 42 years old, joined the manhunt. Davis came from a long line of public servants. His father had served in the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. Detective Davis was known for being calm under pressure, respected by colleagues for his tactical mind and compassionate leadership. At home, he was a husband and father of 4, known for his sense of humor and dedication to his family. That morning, he was simply doing his job, trying to protect a neighborhood from a fugitive armed to the teeth. While canvassing the area in a residential neighborhood, Davis and his partner approached a suspicious vehicle. Inside was Bracamontes, armed and waiting. As the officers got closer, Bracamontes opened fire with the AR-15. Detective Davis was hit, and after being airlifted to a hospital, he succumbed to his injuries several hours later, passing away exactly 26 years to the day after his father also died in the line of duty. After gunning down Detective Davis, Bracamontes and his wife split up, running on foot. She was found hiding inside a home they had broken into. He also broke into a home nearby, but this home was occupied. He attempted to remain hidden, but a massive law enforcement response was already tightening the perimeter. Eventually, he was found hiding in their garage. Police used a flashbang and tear gas before storming the space and arresting him. During the arrest, Bracamontes reportedly laughed and boasted about his killings. He told police that he didn't regret the killings and that he would break out soon and kill more. When questioned, his wife initially downplayed her involvement, but evidence proved that she had helped load and conceal the AR-15 used in the killings, making her an accessory to murder. She was charged and ultimately convicted of first-degree murder for her role in the crime spree, receiving a sentence of nearly 50 years in prison. But the 2018 trial of Luis Bracamontes would take a very dark and troubling twist. He frequently interrupted proceedings, laughing and shouting obscenities. He told the courtroom he wished he had killed more cops. His attitude and response in the courtroom only hurting the victims' families even more. He even smiled as dashcam footage of the chase and the shootings were played for the jury. At various points, Bracamontes had to be removed from the courtroom for repeated outbursts. He shouted that he was guilty, insisted on receiving the death penalty, and said, "There's no need for an effing trial." The civilian that was shot, Anthony Holmes, was also brought in as a key witness. His testimony not only helped piece together the timeline of the rampage, but underscored how Bracamontes' violence extended beyond law enforcement to anyone that got in his way. It would become one of the most disturbing trials in recent memory. The jury, weighing overwhelming evidence, convicted him on all counts, which included 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, carjacking, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and numerous special circumstance enhancements. The case sent shockwaves through California and beyond. It sparked political debate around immigration, sanctuary policies, and law enforcement safety. But beyond the politics were the families. The Oliver and Davis families were left to navigate unimaginable loss. 2 dedicated officers were murdered in cold blood. They were responding to calls, checking cars, knocking on doors, the kind of work thousands of officers do every day all across the country. What makes this case so chilling is the absolute absence of humanity in Luis Bracamontes. He murdered 2 men, then mocked their families in court with not even the faintest sign of regret. In his own words, "I will break out soon, and I will kill more." But that likely will not happen. In April of 2018, he was sentenced and now sits on death row in California's San Quentin State Prison. The lives of Deputy Danny Oliver and Detective Michael Davis Jr. remind us that heroism is a choice. They committed to serving their communities in a job that can be thankless at times, a target for criticism at others, and sometimes puts them literally in the crosshairs of a madman. Their stories deserve to be remembered far longer than any courtroom hijinks by a killer.